My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We start this episode sat just outside of Stockton, which is off to the right there, as you can plainly see. And over to the left we have the freight yard that we set up in the previous episode that is going to service both Stockton and Boston, which is hidden just out of view to the left, behind the mountain there. Obviously it's not in shot, but it is there. So in the last episode we got this set up, and we got the first load of deliveries set up for this new interchange as well, which was, I believe, the goods that are being required by Boston. Also up here we need to think about how to get the fuel, which is required by Boston, and also tools, which Stockton here on the right is calling out for. So if we bring up the UI so we can see the current state of affairs, hovering around about £500 million. So we have got plenty of funds to work with as we set the next stage up. And I think that next stage is going to be getting the tools into Stockton via this new interchange that we set up in our last episode. The question is, how do we run them up here? We have two options available. We could get them from the Coventry tool forge down here, or we could tap into the Ulverston tool factory up here. Now, as the crow flies, obviously the one from Coventry is a much shorter distance, so logically that one would make sense as being the one that we use. The question is, how do we get from here up to this new hub between the two cities of Boston and Stockton? If we just look at the line as it stands, we can see we have lines heading every which way. And if we trace a path out, if we hadn't come off this one of these two end platforms here and up this way, past the iron mines, they could then use this line here, which tunnels under the earth, pass along the mountainside here, and somewhere in this area, we could have a junction that turns off, doubles back on itself, and heads into the freight yard here to drop off the tools and get them shipped into Stockton. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it and the most straightforward way, and it's also the most logical way, so I think that's what we're going to do. So we don't want high-speed tracks, as this is just freight. We can do with standard tracks, but obviously we are going to be using catenary. Now the one thing we do need to bear in mind is how we bridge over this road and our passenger line here before heading back down and merging in with this freight line just here that we can see just above the Gillingham train station. So then if we make a start, what platform is currently being used? Okay, so at the minute we're using platform 1, so we can use platform 2, and that'll prevent the trains from tripping up over each other when they're waiting to come alongside. Bearing in mind that we are going to have a bridge here, I'm going to run him straight for the initial stretch, so we're elevated above the road. Don't think at this point we're going to be elevated enough to have a bridge. No, it's going to create a rather strange looking hump, or level crossing I should say. One of the least level crossings possible looking at that, so we're going to have to raise them up a little bit. And if we try now, there we go. Can we, in fact, if we go straight, no, not quite, but I don't think we're too, there we go. That will give us a bridge, and it doesn't look too bad or too ridiculous, so I'm happy enough with that actually there. We could have a, no, let's not have that at all. There's an iron bridge there, or we have like a box set. Oh my god. That's not too bad. What speed is that? That's 224 miles an hour, so that is a very, very rapid bridge. Obviously it is going to be limited because it's only standard track, and also the radius is causing a limitation. But I think we'll go for the default iron bridge there, and then we'll double track it. I'll put the diamond in while I'm here, that way it's done and I can't overlook it accidentally. There we go. Now we want to keep this level because we're going to cross over the passenger line as well. Can we keep it level but on an embankment? Yes, I suppose we can, because we could always use some terrain modifications to even out, equalise this slope a little more than it has done there, so that's not too bad. We'll continue with the embankment just for a little bit further, and then we'll switch to the bridge, cross over the passenger line here. Again, we'll go back to the iron bridge, like so. Yes, plenty of clearance, and it doesn't look overly big, if you know what I mean. Unrealistically so, shall we say. And now we want to have this track run back down to ground level. Which way do we want to be aiming? I'd say a bit straighter than that, more towards that lumberyard, that logging camp that we have just off to the right there. Perhaps stretch it out a little bit more so the gradient isn't quite so severe, because that is rather steep, although we could just take the edge off by doing this a little. Like that. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Obviously we are going downhill anyway. This whole landscape is sloping downwards, so it's going to be a struggle to get this to come back down nice and fluently, so to speak. But I think we'll be able to manage it. I'm not too concerned about this hump here. This is only an access road, and it's not even one that we use. However, we can furnish that a bit later, make it look a little bit more natural and normal. So we continue our way downwards. As you can see, we're going down at quite a lick there. So whatever trains that we go ahead and select to run on this line, they are going to have to be quite powerful. But we do have powerful trains available to us at this point, so that isn't a problem. The question is now, where do we branch off from here? And I think just by this signal here, in fact we'll get rid of that signal so there's no chance of it interfering with the junction. And I think we come off here, and this is going to be the most logical place and the best place for us to do it. What kind of junction is that giving me? It's a little underlapped, but we can raise it up just a touch. Say to there, a bit more. Okay, that's not really doing what I want to do, so I'll take that up a little bit there. There, that's better. Yes, that looks a smooth, level junction. And we don't have any tracks over or underlapping one another. And the catenary masts are clear of the rails. A little bit close, but I can live with it. It's within tolerance. And now we need to have quite a sharp curve to hook up to there. I mean, we could take this track back a little ways and give it a larger radius around like that. But for now, I think that will do. We can always fine-tune it later if we realise it provides or it's giving us too much slowdown. Make sure I'm using the right signals now when I signal this junction for protection. So we'd want one there and there, like so. And then we also want one just stopping before the switch there. And then where's our nearest set of signals? They are quite a way back, so we'll have a clearing signal just here. And then we'll put another blocking signal just here, I think. It'd be a decent enough place for it. Yep. That's all good looking that way. All we need to do now is put the blocks in up to there. So we'll do that nice and quickly. First off, we'll put the clearing signal just there, and then it's time for the blocks. Initially, they'll probably get my words out, please. Initially, there will probably be 2 trains delivering the tools. So we don't need extensive blocking, but I'm going to do it anyway, because at some point in the future, I would imagine the fuel delivery trains are going to be running up this line as well. So this is just a little bit of future proofing, and it's not necessarily the blocks that are needed right now. And then we go there, we'll have a clearing signal after the diamond, and then we want 2-way signals here as per usual, like so, and that should be us. Let's see now if the train, in fact no, first of all, so the trains, the tool factory can start producing for this new delivery route. Let's get the road delivery system set up. So we'll need a drop-off point for Stockton. The tools are all concentrated up here, and it looks like we have, if we put it there, like so, or in fact there, yeah, that gives us very good coverage, and it also keeps him away from the bus line there. Yep, I'll be happy enough with that. So let's set up a line to get trucks running this. So this is for tools, so we want that colour. You can be fully loaded, but you're not going to have an unlimited wait time. I was going to set it to 1 minute, so there's not too much hanging around on the platform. And then we'll go ahead and get this named up. So this is Stockton Tools Delivery. Yes, there we go. No, that's not my correct naming term. It's Tools Delivery Stockton. I had to think there. That's better. Tools Delivery to Stockton. We have a road vehicle depot nearby. I know we do. There we go, one in Boston. Cargo, and we have the Saurer. None of them specialise in tools, so we'll go for the tarpaulin truck, and we'll go for 6. Get the maintenance jacked up to maximum, get them coloured, and then get them assigned to the line. There we go. One thing we could also do now is, because they turn around on the depot, we could use the waypoints that we have in position and just adjust the line so they go in and out in opposite directions. So we'll do that. So if you're heading that way and coming back in this way, that means that after the green you want to come there. There we go. Now they do cross over the other line there, but they're not looping around in the station, which is a lot tidier. Now we can go ahead and sort out the train delivery route. So you want to come from the Coventry Tool Forge. Again, just change the colour while we're here. There we go. Up to here. You shouldn't have any problems finding your way. No, you haven't. Absolutely perfect. You have selected platform 2, so there's no cross interference. Again, we will set him to fully loaded, but we'll only give him a 1 minute wait time. There we go, just like so. And then this is Tools Freight, and this is Coventry to Stockton. Well, Coventry to Boston Stockton, as that's the name of the hub that we've just created. There we go. Yep. Let's go ahead and purchase ourselves a train for this delivery line. Where's our depot? There you are. Let's have a look now. Let's scroll down to the bottom so we look at our high power trains. That's 2 million a year-ish to run. That's more expensive, but that one is quite powerful, and given the fact we have quite a steep gradient to handle, that might be worthwhile. However, that one is faster, but it won't make full utilisation as he's on lower speed tracks. However, that one won't even hit the 75 miles an hour that he is capable of on those tracks. So, balance, I'll go for the PRR. We can always change them out if he proves to be too much of a money sink. So it's not the end of the world, and we're not committed now. We can always change our mind later. And, oh no, that's the wrong thing I'm clicking there. There we go, this is what I want. That's better. Yeah, that should be okay. Handles all the gradients without breaking a sweat. We'll have 2 of them. That's going to cost us 41 million. So we'll get them purchased, get them coloured, and then we'll get them named up nice and quickly. So when we're doing an overview and mousing over the train, we know what line it's assigned to and what it's responsible for. There we go. I've not assigned them a line yet, which is why they're just sat waiting in the depot. So we'll do that now. That's the one, and off they go. Wonderful. Now you may have noticed we have new trucks. We also have a new bus. That occurred at the end of the last episode. I'd left the game running accidentally. I thought I'd paused it. And then when I saved it, I didn't realise there'd been a date change and a few new vehicle unlocks. So, as you saw, we have the Saurer trucks now available, which are superior to the, what we're using at the minute, the Opel Blitzers, I believe it is. Yes. So we'll quickly change all those out. We'll do that using the vehicle manager. That's the easiest and quickest way to do it. So we just want road vehicles. We want to see all of them, which we can at the moment. And then if we scroll through, so bricks delivery and bricks production, there we go. You can have, is there anything that carries both stone and brick? There isn't. However, what we can do is take off the brick production ones, because they will carry stone at some point, and stick to the brick delivery. And then you can have the side state trucks like that. Increase the maintenance. Now the brick production ones, they carry stone and bricks. So these will have to be the tarp trucks. There we go, maintenance increased. Bus services, we do have a new bus as well, so I'll change all these now while I'm here. And I'll show you what the buses are in just a moment, once I've got all our bus services selected. So the new buses that we have are the Twin Coach 44S, which carries 14 people as opposed to 10. Does the same speed, but it is slightly more powerful for hill gradients, gradient changes and good up and down hills. It will accelerate faster, so it's worth getting those on. I mean, even for the increased capacity alone, it's worth getting those on. But there we go. So now we have the coal delivery or the coal haulage ones. I guess these can use the, go down to the bottom, the tipper truck. Yes, they can. They don't need maintenance because they don't go near a city. We have the crude oil haulage. They can have the tank trucks. Again, don't need maintenance on those. They're nowhere near a city. Food delivery. Is there any specialised trucks for food? There is not, so we'll have to have the tarp trucks. There we go. Then we have fuel delivery. These can have the tank trucks with maintenance increased. Our goods deliveries, they need the tarps and they do need maintenance. Our intercity bus could be changed as well while we're here. Oh, I've already done that. I did that off camera just to have a look at them. That's why they've been changed already. Logging haulage. Can you use the side stakes? You can indeed. Don't need maintenance on those. Machinery delivery. These will need maintenance. And I do believe these have to use the tarpaulin trucks. Yes, they do. There we go. Plastic haulage, again, doesn't go near a city, but they need the tarp. There we go. Our airport shuttle bus. They're using very old buses. They need updating. Passenger Twin Coach 44S with maintenance, please. Thank you. Refined oil haulage away from the city, so maintenance isn't a concern. And they can use the Sarah tank trucks. Stone haulage way away from a city. Tipper truck, no maintenance. The Tools Forge work bus that we set up as a little gimmick. There you go. You do need maintenance though. Tool delivery trucks. We have quite a lot of these here, as you can see. There we go. You want the tarpaulin trucks with maintenance. And then last but not least, our 2 wheat haulage lines. They can have the tipper truck. Yes, they can indeed. And they do not go into a city, I believe. So the maintenance there isn't a requirement. There we go, so that's a quick vehicle upgrade. Let's have a look, shall we, at one of our new Sauer trucks. There we go. I like the canvasy sort of effect, or the burlap effect on the tarpaulin there. Looks very, very nice. Just get down low to ground level sort of thing. Quite a scenic drive this. There's Stockton there receding into the background as we head towards, I think it is the quarry first of all, which will be up on our left in the not too distant future. There we can see some smoke arising from what I believe is the quarry, and we can see one of our trucks there just leaving the truck station, hopefully with a full load of stone to be processed into construction materials or into bricks, however you prefer to term them. I go for bricks. There we go, just passing 2 of them now. Oh no, we're not. He's pulling into the truck station as well. So here we go. Yes, nice little run on our new trucks there. Shall we also go check out the new buses that we have? And for that, I think it's going to be more aesthetically pleasing, shall we say. Well, we have some sort of standstill here. What has happened in Coventry? What's called... So these are all heading this way. You're stuck behind him. It continues on this way. Is it just the traffic lights holding everything up? I think it could be. We may have to just leave that for a few moments and see what happens. But all our trams are now sat on top of one another. Perhaps we have too many trams. That could be a cause. We have a lot of traffic here. Is it that when they're waiting, as it could be, all this is causing a backlog up here while they're waiting for clearance to cross the level crossing? Because this is the main line, so it is rather busy. We do have a lot of trains in and out. In fact, we'll have one leaving in a few moments. One of our northern main line trains there. No, it's a Coventry main line train. Does this need a quick rework then to perhaps tunnel underneath so there's no level crossing and this keeps this a bit more free flowing? Perhaps. But we can come back to that in a moment. I'm getting sidetracked. I wanted to look at one of our buses, and let's find one that's downtown. There we go. There's one of them there. We'll pick on you. Bus service 01. It's got the name on the front, the line name and number. Couple of people on board. We are indicating to turn right, but obviously we are stuck in this traffic jam. I noticed the timing on the traffic lights isn't the longest duration, so that could be having an impact. They're sat on red for a long time. Nice view on the balconies there. Yes, they're sat on red for quite a while, and only one or two... Sorry, they don't stay on green for... Oh no, it's not that. It is the backlog. Okay. Let's try and resolve this little issue. So you're still backlogged here. You're still backlogged all the way down here. For me, it has to be this bit here. What do we have running down here? It is just the bricks deliveries. Okay, let's pause it because this is going to disrupt that delivery line. Unfortunately, we are going to have to demolish quite a few buildings here. However, they will rebuild. And if it gets things a bit better free flowing in Coventry, it's got to be worth it in the long run. There's our picket point. So instead of coming up this way, we could take this road back here. Yes, confirm the destruction. It's going to cost a lot of money. Take all that back, and they could run this way. And then if we have our connection in a tunnel this way, there we go. That hopefully will leave us enough room to have a tunnel down here. Let's try it. We want town roads. We'll have large. Yes, we'll have the tram lines on. We don't have a tram going down here, but in the future, who knows? So you want to head downwards. There we go. Do we have enough of a runoff here to get a tunnel? We can drop the gradient to something a little bit more drastic. Like that. In fact, if we take it all the way back and do that from the off, that's going to increase our chances of getting to a depth where we can have a tunnel. Where's the node? There it is. I saw it. So it drops almost vertically down. It's too much slope. If we extend him outwards, that will handle that. There we go. Yes. Please be enough for a tunnel. We shall see now. It is. If you stay level at that height, will that give us a tunnel? Level, please, sir. There we go. No. Down a little bit more, perhaps. There we go. There's our tunnel. We can tidy this bit up because it's going to look a bit bizarre. A little bit strange. In fact, if we push it back a little... No. Okay, that'll have to do. As a quick... Well, it's not a quick solution, but as a way to get rid of the level crossing that we had, it's got to be worth it. And then drop into that road up there. Okay, let's in fact do it from the opposite way like that. Don't want to be heading up, head down a little, and then how does that looks better? We'll take that, unpause it. Our trucks have rerouted themselves, which is excellent. What do we have here? The Votrans towboat and the Votrans tanker towboat. We'll take a look at those in a moment. Don't know if we're going to need to use them, but we'll have a look at them. First, I just want to deal with some of the landscaping that occurred when we put in this tunnel. So let's just take care of some of this now. That is quite steep, but what we can do to mask it somewhat is if we get the paint tool Do we have a concrete? Let's have a look. Scree, rock, no. Asphalt, perhaps? What's the best asphalt we have? What looks like concrete? Maybe that one. If we turn the brush size down, we can test. No, not that one. That one? That looks like concrete, yes. And if we just paint along the edge here, just a touch, just like this, it's almost like it's been made out of poured concrete, not just dug out of the earth. And it hopefully should make it look a little bit more natural looking, a bit more structurally and engineeringly is not a word, more like it would do in reality in this sort of situation. Do we have any assets that we could use to address this? Like anything like a retaining wall? We have, ooh, bridge pillars. Stone grey, what do they look like? No, height, what does that do for me? I don't know, that's done nothing. Oh, it's making it lower, okay. We could like build something like this. If we can get, can they, it's a shame they don't quite snap to each other. Can we raise and lower that? We can. Just lower that down just a touch. Shift and there we go, just like that. And then out to there. And then have one there as well. We can't have one at the back because it will clip through the tunnel. But we could have one there. And then raise this up again to the same sort of height. Bit of overlap, that's okay. Bit time consuming this, but hopefully it will make it look a little bit better. Yeah, it's not the best. I might do that off. I'll come back to that off camera, I think, rather than waste any more time on it. But either way, that should have cleared some of this backlog in traffic. Indeed it has, because it snaked all the way back here initially. Now it's just in this area, and obviously it takes time for it to flow through, especially with the traffic lights. So that's that. Okie dokie. Perfect. If we just now return to where we started out, up here, and check on these lines and see if we've had any deliveries yet. Let's have a look. Boston, no, nothing. We have the goods line set up. I know that. We did it in the last episode. Where are the trains? You're waiting for a free path, are you? Okay. Oh, I see. Yes, you're waiting to get on platform. You have... What did we set up in terms of wait times for this line? Let's have a look. Set that down to 1 minute, and you can just head on your way now. You have enough there, 151. That's enough to get things started, and it will help get some of these trains off so they're not blocking up any other lines that I wanted to come in here, which I don't think there are any. It's just the one line on those two platforms, and all the trains are off the rest of the track, so that should be okay. Have any of these trains started heading backwards yet? You haven't. You haven't. You're waiting. Are you the one we just sent on the way? No, you are. Where are you going? Are you heading to... Oh, yes, you're heading... Yeah, I've lost my bearings. You are just about to arrive at Boston. I got very confused as to where he was on the map then. Obviously, these aren't waiting, but that's okay. We'll have one turn up in the not-too-distant future. That train just got distracted there, but our Flying Scotsman is looking very worse for wear. What sort of finance? Yeah, you're not making money. But we are making money overall, so I think I am just going to pay for the maintenance just to make it look a bit more pleasing. It's a loss leader, so we've not like changed that from a profitable line to a non-profitable line by increasing the maintenance. So all we've done is increase how much loss he makes, if that makes sense. Moving on then, the next things we need to consider are the fuel up to here and how we're going to do that. Obviously we have the bricks being delivered by road delivery vehicles, so they are taken care of and that isn't a problem. We have the goods, we now have the tools set up, so it is just the fuel to get up here. We have the fuel refinery down here. Is there a way to run a train line? Obviously, we have the passenger line here, which I'd prefer to avoid using if possible. I don't like freight and passenger lines to get mixed up with one another. But could we have a terminus station down here? Does anybody else require fuel, actually? Or is it only Stockton, sorry, Boston that remains? Let's have a look. So I'm looking at, yes, there we go. Fuel refinery, consumers, Haywood and Boston. Haywood's fuel will likely be shipped by ferry because it's very close to the river's edge, so that makes sense. So in terms of the size of station we need at Gillingham Fuel Refinery, just a single track will do. And let's just experiment and see where one could be slotted in. We want a terminus station, and it will need to be full length because our trains are quite long these days. Where can you go that leaves enough room for you to head up here? Let's have a look, shall we? I'd prefer it to be raised up because he's going to have to tunnel over the passenger... sorry, he's going to have to bridge over our passenger main line. So having him raised from the start just makes sense. So if we have it somewhere like that, that is quite elevated from the road, which is unfortunate. And I don't know if that would provide us a connect... Where is the... Oh, yes, it would provide us a connection to the fuel refinery once the road was connected as well. Let's have a look now. Perhaps somewhere like that. Let's experiment with it and try it. Just sort out the gradient there around this area because it is quite excessive. There we go. Just take the edge off it a little bit. And then we want to run a road up here so we have an active connection. So we want country roads. We can have small. There we go. No, you don't want tram lines. Come on. There we go. That's better. Please keep level just while you're in front of the train station, just so we have a smooth connection. There we go. That's fine. And I think if we come up here and swerve in, that will do what we want it to do. You do want to be rising upwards. There you go. And then sweep around. How does that look there? We might be able to just deal with that with our terrain tools. No, we cannot. So we've got a weird shadow feature there, which is unfortunate. Perhaps if we run it a little further out, it'll give us a better look. So if we run him like that, and then a sharp curve, and then let the game draw it in. Yes, that looks better. And that should give us an active connection. Indeed it does. We have a lot of traffic build up here, but again, it's just because of the level crossing. Shall we put a tunnel in while we're here? Because we're not going to get this line fitted up and ready to go by the end of the episode, so I don't mind halting proceedings a little while we just tidy a few other things up while we're in the vicinity. So if we take that back to there, let's get our roads. In fact, let's go for a large country road. Where's the node here? There we go. If you just head downwards like that. Whoa, that's not right. Neither is that. There we go. How high can you go before you start to complain? There we go. We've reached the limit just there. How does that look in terms of a gradient going in and out of the tunnel? That's not too bad. And then we can upgrade this road as well while we're in the area. Give them a higher capacity there. Demolish one building in the town, but that's okay. The way to avoid that is if you just shift click, it does a smaller section so it doesn't extend as far down this way, because it was trying to upgrade all the way to that junction there. Now it isn't, which is perfect. There we go. That should have sorted out the traffic flow here. Does anything head up there? No, it doesn't. So there is no need for you to be a traffic light. If I can just try and remember how... There we go. Traffic lights. No, no traffic lights. Nothing's ever turning up that way. So this may as well be free-flowing along here. Although they are still stopping. No, they're not. No, they do. They carry straight on. That's fine. Okay. So let's make a start. As I said, we're not going to get this finished today. But we can make a decent start on this line up towards Boston, Stockton. Again, you're going to want to start raising up. You are going to have to curve because of the roof of the tunnel. There you go. And then it's a bit slow and it's a bit tight. But it's going to do the job that we want it to do, hopefully. And then continue raising upwards, please. Yes, that's fine. I'll get rid of that for now. We can always pop it back in later if it's needed. I don't think we ever will need it, though. How high are you compared to that line? You're pretty much level, so we do want you to start raising up quite quickly now. No. Yes, that'll do. And, oh god, it's very close, isn't it? I don't know if we're going to get the clearance here to get a bridge over this line. No, we're not. Okay, we're going to have to go back and raise them up even higher. Even higher, even sooner. Okay, so back from here. That's maximum. We don't want it overly taxing, because while we do have the trains that can cope, we want to make it as easy as possible for them, obviously. There's no point making it too excessive. If you go flat now, would that be high enough for us to have a tunnel, a bridge over there? No. That is a pity, so you're going to have to raise up a little higher. There you go. What about if you cross over now? Oh, yes, there we go. Although it probably is a bit low on the... Oh, no, it just fits. That is perfect. Yes, happy enough with that. The bridge is still climbing itself, which is... That is unfortunate, because I do prefer my bridges to be flat. Let's see now. Will you bridge over there? No, you won't. There. Oh, Let's just complete that little bit there. No, I don't want you to cross over like that. There we go. How's that on the catenary masts? Ooh, not quite. A little bit higher. Not too much. Just enough to clear the... Yeah, that's fine. This is quite an excessive bridge, isn't it? It's quite long. Go straight, please, there. That's better. Yes. Do we have to cross anything else from here? Just thinking how we're going to get onto this line. Do we go under, over the road, and then connect in? I think so. Otherwise, we're going to have bridges for days. Didn't mean to do that at all. Take that back. Let's try that again, please. Yes, that's better. You just do what the game wants you to do. Yes, which you are anyway. That's fine. Will you be able to fit in there? Yes, you will. We're going to have a level crossing at this point. How does that look? It's not the best, is it? But it'll do. We can fix it up later. For now, we just want to get the line in. I said we weren't going to get it done today. We've almost got it done, so I underestimated myself there. And then run flat a little bit with a track, and then you want to merge in like so. Where's that catenary mast foot? It's on the track. We can upgrade it to no mast catenary, just to get rid of it. Which one is it? Where it'll get rid of it? That little one there. Yep, that's fine. Okay, perfect. Now we've put the double track in, and then we are good to go. We're not upgrading. We are laying new tracks now. So all the way back down. I've got a sneaking feeling this might cause an issue with this bridge. No, it's left enough room. Perfect. And where do we want to merge it in? It'll be on the embankment before it touches in here. So perhaps on this little flat stretch we have now, we can drop him in like that. It's not the best, but to get things up and rolling, it works for me. As always, we can adjust it a little bit later on if we need to. But for now it'll do. It gets the line active and it starts things moving in the right direction. And we can revisit all of this a little bit later, like this crossing and what have you. If it annoys me too much during our little rides on the train. That's quite steep, all this, so I'll do all that off camera. We'll leave that for now. So yes, we've got the line set up. No signals yet, no trains assigned yet, and no road vehicle delivery trucks assigned yet either. But we are ready for that in the next episode, because I think this is a decent enough place to leave this one now. We've got a fair amount accomplished. We got the tools delivery set up. We've had our first load of goods delivered to Boston. We have a connection to the fuel refinery as well to service Boston as well. That's obviously going to be done in the next episode. We did some vehicle upgrading. We have a traffic jam here as well, which I'll address in the next episode. That's very unfortunate. I'm going to have to deal with that now, because that's an infinite loop, so to speak. What's causing this? What vehicles are intercity bus? Okay. Replace all them, and we'll sell some of them, because we don't need quite as many as we have. I'll sell every other one, and hope that we have sold the ones that are causing or contributing to the issue at this passenger station. We'll see in a moment. Yes, that's every other one. Sell. It's because the lines are looping over each other. I'll address that in the next episode anyway. That can be what we start off with before we get the fuel delivery line set up. So yes, as I was saying, we've also got new trucks, upgraded our trucks and upgraded our bus services as well. Adjusted our roads somewhat, put a few tunnels in to keep things flowing a little better in Coventry, which they now absolutely are. It looks a lot better. A few issues here when they're dropping off passengers and causing backlogs on our trucks, but that isn't the end of the world. He should start moving soon. Please start moving. Thank you. An excessive wait time there at the tram station, which is unfortunate. But yes, I'm not going to get distracted by anything else. We will go to our outro, and to make sure I don't get distracted by anything else, I'm going to sit in the river and wet my toes so I can't see what's going on in the cities where all the traffic is occurring. There we go, that's better. Have a look at our ships as they come and go up the river. So yeah, all that remains for me to say is, ladies and gentlemen, you take care of yourselves. Ta-ta for now.